Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and is it dying or is it evolving? Is this a new beginning for us? And this kind of comes off the coattails of the Hyperdrive bundle, moving from its $50 price point down to $10 for a brief period of time. Now this is great news for anybody wanting to buy it. Now it is not a permanent fixture yet. But remember that in the past, they did this where they released the Hyperdrive bundle on sale for half off, and then they put it back up to its normal price, and then they eventually dropped it again. So I think that's probably what's going to be happening here as well, is that this is going to be the official drop, just not quite right away. But let's get talking about this a little bit, because I do think there are some players who are concerned, and I'm going to try to assuage that and kind of show you why I think this is a new beginning for this game. So please like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Let's give a shout to our channel members for their continued support. If you're ever interested, link down below, along with a link to the Discord. Guys, go check it out. Thank you for keeping the faith. Thank you for being a part of this awesome community. I can't thank you guys enough for, I know it was rough there on a while for content, and, you guys stuck with me, so you're here for it. Let's get in here, guys. Let's talk about this deal. Alright folks, so here's the official kind of announcement from Capital Games on the forums page here. So Hyperdrive bundle deal upcoming, and I want to say Meathead, I love his artwork here. Like, I think these are so funny that the crossing this out and putting 73 here, that is just peak Meathead, and I love it. Like, stuff like this is why I think like he's earning back the community in a lot of ways, is because like this is just pure comedy, right? Like, why update? Like, that's exactly what I would do. Like, I'm not gonna redo this whole thing. Like, that's too hard. Love it, man. This is great. So he said, "Hi, Holotable Heroes. For a limited time, we'll be reducing the cost of the Hyperdrive bundle to $9.99. This unlocks a massive stockpile of gear, ability materials, currencies, energy, as well as instantly unlocking 73 characters and 20 iconic ships. It's going to be starting on December 16th and ending July 13th, 2025. So going to be around for about a month. So great news, right? If you're somebody that hasn't purchased this is great news. And we're just going to get into first, like, how good of a deal is this? So right now it's $50, right? There's the $50 price point. Now, in terms of the activity access, it gets you all this stuff, right? It takes you there. But you get up to 73 characters at gear level, I think it's 8, ability tier 5. So all these characters are going to come in at, gear 8, ability level 5. There are some very good characters in here, and where they added stuff, you got Moff Gideon, Dark Trooper, Dengar, Boss, Captain Rex, Royal Guard, Mando, and Grief. Like, those are some massive adjustments in there. Those are some big name characters getting in there at level, going in at level 80. This is a huge stuff, some really good changes there. And then in terms of the ships, they had added, I think this stuff on the end here with the Rebel Y-Wing, Anakin, TIE Bomber, TIE Advance, like those, again, massive updates, massive changes. This is a really good deal, but that's just the characters and the ships. So what if you already have all this stuff? You're gonna be like, Phil, I don't need any of this. Like, I legitimately do not need any of this stuff now. Like, there's not a single part of this bundle that helps me in terms of the characters of the ships. But then there's the resources. 20 million credits, 10 million ship credits, 2,000 crystals. I want to pause on the 2,000 crystals here just to show you something. 2,000 crystals. To put that into perspective, even with the 5% more that you get from playing on PC here, 1,400 crystals for $10. So just going purely based off of the crystals, at $9.99, these 2,000 crystals are more than you can purchase anywhere right now. And that's not all, but wait, there's more. You're getting all this extra currency. Here's 2 additional Zetas. Here's 10 Zetas, Omegas. So, like, there's a ton of extra, resources here. Look at the prestige, 1,000 prestige, ability, Omega abilities for your ships, reinforcements, training droids, all right, energy. This right here is 1,000 crystals worth of energy. You figure 500 energy is, 50 crystal refreshes. You get 120 at a time, so 480 energy is what, like, I guess that'd be 200 crystals? Yeah, 200 crystals of energy here. 200 here, 200 here, that's 600, and then 400 in the cantina. So there's 1,000 extra crystals in your back pocket. You're also getting 200 Kyrotech. When they sell like 100 Kyrotech, they sell it for what, $5? It's like $5 or $10 for Kyrotech. Like, it's not, so that's a steal right there. You're gonna get some core gear, which, that's fine and dandy. The core gear is great, but This is the real kicker, is this stuff down in here. Getting 300 of these pieces, just to show you what that really translates to, right? Because that's a significant bit of, upgrade there, right? So if we go to this piece here, this is the Mark II piece. If you go over to, and I think that's the piece, it's not here. So I think it's over here. So yeah, there's Mark III, I don't know, Mark II, there it is. So you're getting 300 of a piece. Now I'm just going to pick, like I don't have 300 of something in here, so I'm just going to pick a couple things to get to 300. And where's that? There it is. So 300 pieces is worth roughly 25 carbonite circuit boards, right? So 25 carbonite circuit boards. When you purchase this Hyperdrive bundle, you're getting if I just go through it again, I'm just going to count the pieces that I know, like 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, 250, 275, 300. You get the idea that there is hundreds of carbonite circuit boards up for grabs inside of this bundle. So for $10, you're getting an obscene amount of value that is not going to be available all the time, right? Like it's, again, and if you're somebody who could use some of this stuff, right? Like that's even bigger. That you could use some of the characters and some of the ships. Like for $10, guys, this is a steal. And I think that this is a step that the game is evolving. They're recognizing that, hey, with these Lightspeed bundles, a $50 price point on this makes no sense when we're going to give you all of these characters for $25. When we're going to give you a Tusken team here, or we're going to give you, Jawas for $10 here. Like, you could spend $50 here, or $50 getting Jabba, Tuskens, and the Jawas. Like, you tell me who's going to have a better account. And I get you're like, oh, well, what about ships? You get the point, right? All these relics, you're not getting to my ships anyway. So, with all of that said, guys, the reason I think that this is evolving the game is because they're recognizing that the Hyperdrive bundle at $50 no longer makes sense. It doesn't match up with where everything else is in the game. And I think this is the next stage of evolution in SWGOH, that they want to make it easier and easier to get players to level 85, to get players into those first few teams in Galactic Legends, to be able to work on some of those newer things. Think about how many players are actually working towards Balin right now. A hell of a lot more people are working on Balin right now than were probably able to work on things like Jedi Knight Cal, because there's Lightspeed bundles out there to help catch you up, to make you feel like, hey, you know what? I could do this. I was able to get Jar Jar because I didn't have to worry about going and farming Rey or going and farming Kylo. So I do think the Lightspeed bundles are working. And I think this, Hyperdrive bundle, if it sells well, I think it is going to give them another point to consider, that with some of their other packs outside of just the Lightspeed bundles, they can begin to offer a lot of value, in terms of like, hey, there's all this really good stuff for a cheap amount of money. Because for a long time in this game, their mindset was, it's easier for us to ask the top 1% of players to foot the bill. That guys like Mulgugek here were footing the bill for the game. Hey, he's got to spend, the $150, $200, so that way he's taking care of, 15, 16, 17 other players. You know what I mean? Like, it boiled down to a small select group of players kind of keeping the game afloat. But as the game has moved on, as we've grown, and as the game has gone older and older and older, that player base has shrunk, right? That there's not as many people spending that much money, because the game's 9 years old now. Like, it's time to evolve. It's time to bring in a new rash of spenders, and maybe instead of just focusing on that one person, like, hey, it'd be like me offering channel memberships for $100. Maybe I get 1 or 2 people that are willing to do that, which would be crazy. Like, that's just absurd, right? But that's the mindset. Hey, I'd rather get 1 or 2 people to do that than get 20 people in at $5 or get 40 people in at $5, And CG had the data for a while that I think supported that claim. But I think now the data is more supporting that there's a lot of people who are willing to spend a little bit of money if they see a significant amount of value there. So I think this is a new beginning. I think this is going to open up the door for players to get to level 85 faster, get to the end game faster. I will say this, the one, again, there's never anything that's perfect. If we go back to the forum here and you look at the time frame that they're offering it, it's December 16th to January 13th. I'm going to say this. I'm a little bit disappointed because when you look in the store, the Hyperdrive bundle or the Lightspeed bundles are going away in, a day and a half here or so, right? What is that, a day, 2 days? So there's not going to be any overlap with the lower priced Hyperdrive bundle and these Lightspeed bundles. Now, maybe they release some more, who the hell knows? But one of the big reasons you purchase the Hyperdrive bundle is to be able to purchase Lightspeed bundles. You need to be level 85 to purchase them. So it is kind of one of those things where I was like, man, I really wish you were doing this when, you, like, what's the wording to say here? Like, I wish that you would be releasing this when you're actually level 85. That you would be releasing this so that way players could take advantage of these bundles. And maybe they get re-released when this goes to $10. But we don't know that for certain. And so it does feel a little bit like, oh man, you had a great opportunity to do something really good for the player base. And, you're getting something to do amazing. Instead, you did great. I'm still going to say this is a great update, but you could have taken it one step further to allow players to take advantage of the stuff that's currently in the game now. So being a little bit nitpicky there maybe, but I think that's worth bringing up. So no, guys, I don't want you to think that this game is not dying. Everything in this game is driven by revenue. And so they're trying to figure out ways to make more revenue without having to put a strain on those top 1% players who are already strained and drained enough. They need to bring in a new rash of spenders, and that's what they're doing and targeting with these bundles. Because the Lightspeed bundles are only a one-time thing. Same with this Hyperdrive bundle. It's a one-time thing. But if the data supports that people are going to spend money on stuff like these episode passes, on stuff like the Hyperdrive bundle where it's a minimal value, but it's, think about the Conquest Pass. That's one of their biggest sources of revenue, I'm sure, because it's been around for so long. They don't keep stuff in the game if it's not making them money. It's making them money, and I think this is going to support that fact that by releasing more low-dollar packs with a lot of value, players are going to purchase them. You guys let me know what you think of this. Is this are you like, oh gosh, this is not good, or is this really great? I know almost everyone who hasn't purchased this is really thinking about buying it because for how much insane value is there, it's going to be hard to pass up. So I love you all. May the force be with you. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.